What's up, guys, and welcome back into Breaking Boards. In today's episode, we're going to break down Sunday Night Football's contest between the Green Bay Packers traveling to take on the Dallas Cowboys. This game total is currently sitting at 46.5, with the implied team total for Dallas being 19.5 and the implied team total for Green Bay being 27.5. Hope you guys get something out of the content. If you do, drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, as I do break down every NFL slate throughout the NFL season over on DraftKings. Glad to have you all here. Let's jump into the player-by-player breakdown for Sunday Night Football's contest. Looking at the Green Bay side and looking up top first at the QB position, you have Jordan Love, who is captain viable in this spot against a Dallas team that is going to be without CeeDee Lamb for Sunday night. If you're going to have Jordan Love up top, I would pair him along with two of his pass catchers. You can include Josh Jacobs in that if you would like. But primarily, I'm going to be looking at Tucker Kraft, Matthew Golden, who I should expect to break out at some point during the year. Maybe this is the spot where that happens, where they just get this guy out here. In a game, they should be ahead and then make a few plays with the playmaker on the field in Matthew Golden. You can include Romeo Doubs. You can include the kicker if you'd like, or the defense. Dontavian Wicks is also in the mix here as well. And then you can mix guys, in these cheaper ranges. You got Brooks, who sees the field a little bit, and Wilson as well. Musgrave and Fitzpatrick, I view those guys about the same. Malik Heath as well. So you got some guys down here that are somewhat cheap for Green Bay that you can mix in if you'd like in larger field contests. So in larger field, Heath, Fitzpatrick, Musgrave, Wilson, Brooks, all those guys are just going to be mixed in my 150 sets in large field contests. Otherwise, predominantly I'll be looking at these pass catchers here along with Josh Jacobs, the kicker in the defense, and Jordan Love captain lineups. Love this spot for these receivers and Tucker Kraft. I do think this is a game where Green Bay tends to keep their foot on the neck a little bit of this Cowboys team. I think they go into Dallas and they probably walk out with a 28-17 win here, and include or continue the great season that Green Bay has going. So don't mind getting to Jordan Love in the captain spot. Probably will look to be about the field or maybe a little bit over on Jordan Love. Not a lot of pass catchers that I like in this game from a captain perspective. And then we roll over to the running back position. One of my favorite captains on the slate altogether would be Josh Jacobs. If you have Jacobs up top, you can pair him alongside with any one of the pass catchers or the kicker or defense. I would predominantly do a 2-4 build if I have Jacobs up top. Don't mind getting to a 3-3 as well, but I prefer doing 2-4 if I have the running back in the captain spot. And you also have, you also have Chris Brooks and Emmanuel Wilson. Both these guys, again, would be dart throws in large field contest. Not someone I'm going to look to be over the field on or to get too much in the captain spot, and that their floor is capped so long as Josh Jacobs is healthy in the spot. So Josh Jacobs, one of my favorite captains for Sunday night. Looking over at the wide receiver position, you have Matthew Golden, you have Romeo Doubs, you have Dontavian Wicks, you have Malik Heath, you have Savion Williams. Savion Williams and Malik Heath would be again, dart throws for me in large field contest. I would have no captain ownership on those guys. Dontavian Wicks would be a fringe captain viable receiver for me in 150 max sets. Won't have much of him in small field unless he falls into the flex in my Jordan Love lineups. Romeo Doubs is someone that predominantly he's just always underpriced, and I do think he's someone that you can mix in small field in the flex spot. Don't mind having a few of him in the captain in 150 builds, but that's going to be for your large field contest. And I think you can mix him in there. Don't mind pairing him along with the Jordan Love captain lineups that we talked about earlier as well. And then for Matthew Golden, I will have a few of him mixed in the captain spot as well. Don't mind using him in smaller fields, 2,000 man, 5,000 man contests as well in the captain spot to get a little bit different. Again, I do think he is going to see a breakout game at some point here this season, and it could happen this week against Dallas in Dallas. And then looking at the tight end position, you have Tucker Kraft, you have Luke Musgrave, and you have Fitzpatrick. Both these guys here would be 150 build dart throws in the flex position. I'll have no captain ownership on Musgrave or Fitzpatrick. If you have Kraft up top, which I don't mind getting to a lot, I think he's viable in any size field in the captain spot. If you do have him up top, I would look to get Jordan Love in the flex along with Tucker Kraft for Sunday night. I do think this is a spot where Tucker Kraft could continue a great year. Looks like a breakout year here for Tucker Kraft. And then looking at the kicker and the defense here for Green Bay, you have Brandon McManus and you have the Packers defense. Probably won't mix them in the captain spot, although you could in a larger field stuff. Your 150 sets, I don't mind getting a couple of percentages of these guys in the captain spot, but not something I'm going to look to for Sunday night. But I will be over the field on them in the flex. And then as we roll over to the Dallas side, again, you have Dallas here without CeeDee Lamb going down with a high ankle sprain from last week. You have Dak Prescott up top. Prescott is obviously captain viable. I'll be under the field a couple of percentages on him, given that we haven't seen this offense without CD in quite some time. If you do have Dak up top, you're going to want to pair him with at least 2 pass catchers. You have George Pickens, you have Javonte Williams, you have Jake Ferguson, you have the kicker, you have Kevontae Turpin, you have Jalen Tolbert, you have Miles Sanders if you want to go there, and you have Ryan Flournoy. You could also include in large field contests Shoemaker, Lupke. Scrolling down the list here real quick, Span Ford, and then Brooks would probably be the last guy I would go to there. Flournoy for me, let's go back to these other guys first. Brooks, Lupke, Shoemaker, all those guys would be large field flex options, no captain ownership. You can mix Miles Sanders in if you have a lineup in smaller field that you spend the full 50K and you have Miles Sanders in the flex. I don't mind that. We'll have no captain ownership on Miles Sanders. Flournoy would be a large field GPP throw for me here on Sunday Night Football. Not someone I'm going to love in this spot, but I will mix him in. Jalen Tolbert at this price will be someone I will be significantly over the field on in that. And I mean, even Vegas is projecting this, but I do think Dallas is going to be trailing on Sunday night. So I view Tolbert and Turpin about the same here, but I will have significantly over the field on these guys. One of my favorite builds is doing a 4-2. If you have a Jordan Love captain Green Bay team and you can mix both these guys in the flex, I don't mind that at all. So Tolbert and Turpin I will be over the field on, as I do expect them to be seeing quite a few targets on Sunday night. But getting Dak here, this will be my favorite stack here with Dak in the captain spot. Don't mind getting to this build quite a bit. If I do have Dak up top, I'll predominantly do a 4-2 or a 3-3 build. As we roll over to the running back position here for Cowboys, you have Javonte Williams, you have Miles Sanders, and you have Hunter Lupke. Lupke we just talked about. Dart throw in large field. Same thing here with Miles Sanders. You can mix him in. Again, if you have a team in smaller field that you have 50,000 spent and you like the team and you get Miles Sanders in there, don't mind that at all. But I won't have him in the captain spot at all. Javonte Williams will be someone I will be under the field on in general. Don't mind getting about the field in the flex, but as far as the captain ownership, I'll be under the field quite a bit for Sunday night in the captain spot on Javonte Williams. Looking at the wide receiver position, George Pickens, Kevontae Turpin, Jalen Tolbert, Ryan Flournoy, and then Jonathan Brooks. Brooks, dart throw in large field, no captain ownership. Flournoy, about the same thing, dart throw in a large contest. I do think Flournoy will see a higher target share and snap share over Brooks. So if I had to pick one of those two guys, I would pick Flournoy. And he did see the field once CeeDee Lamb left last week. Tolbert, if you want to mix a couple of him and Turpin in the captain position in 150 max sets, I don't mind that. But not going to be a small field play for me in the captain spot, but I will be significantly over the field in the flex on Turpin and Tolbert. And then George Pickens, if you want to mix him in really any type of field, even your smaller field stuff, you can mix him in the captain spot. If you have any of these receivers up top minus Turpin, I would have Dak in the flex. If you have Kevontae Turpin up top, you don't have to play Dak in the flex, although I probably would lean that way. And then as we roll over to the tight end position, for the Cowboys, you have Jake Ferguson, you have Luke Shoemaker, and you have Span Ford. Shoemaker and Span Ford are dart throws in large field contests. No captain ownership there for me. Jake Ferguson is one of my favorite captains on the slate, probably number 2 behind Josh Jacobs. I'll be significantly over the field. I think you can play him in any field size, and I will probably have some of him in my single entry smaller field contest in the captain spot. If you have him up top, you can look to get I think you could even do a 2-4 build and go with a Jordan Love stack in the flex. But if you have Ferguson up top, I don't mind getting to Dak in the flex spot as well. I do think you can get quite creative with Jake Ferguson up top for Sunday night's builds. Rolling over to the kicker and the defense, I'll be a little bit under the field on both these players. If the field comes in, let's say at 15% on the Cowboys, I would look to be 8%. So I'll be about half the field on the Cowboys defense in that scenario. And then Brandon Aubrey, I'll be about 3 to 5% under the field on Sunday night. Would not consider either of these guys in the captain spot for Sunday night. Sorry I had to get this one out quick. A little bit of a condensed video. A lot going on this weekend. Crazy week at work. So I apologize for being a little bit condensed. If you have any additional questions, please drop those in the comments. I will answer them before Sunday Night Football. I really, truly appreciate everyone tuning in, showing me some love and liking these videos, dropping comments, subscribing to the channel. All the things that you guys are doing is helping me out a ton. This is, I do work a full-time job on top of this, so this is pretty much a passion project for me. So I do appreciate everything that you guys are doing to show me that I'm doing a good job and give me the feedback. I appreciate you guys being here. Hopefully you take down something large on Sunday Night Football. Again, sorry this was a condensed video, but had to just get something out to you guys. I appreciate it again. Hope you have a good weekend and a good night and a good week number 4 in the NFL, and we'll see you guys next time.